Hello, everybody. Well, today is a special day. It's special for, well, a couple reasons. Y'all can see, you can almost see what's on the sides of the table here. I kind of got it out of frame. Oh, you can see a little right there too. What we're going to do is, I got my old backer can laying here. We're fixing to do something. For those of y'all that's been waiting and can identify these parts. There's a big old clutch cover, underpiece, stuffer plate, crank cover, oil cup, a ginormous piston. That's a dip can, just so you know. That's a dip can on top of piston. That's how big around that piston is. Here is the carnage. From the explosion. She blowed her guts out. We put a little alcohol to it, got a little too many RPMs, and she chucked her guts. So, one of our subscribers, Mr. Shane Smith, pretty sure that's right. Shane, sorry if it ain't right, but I think it is. Graciously sent me some parts. I've got a saw of his, I got the port, but I wanted to see what I had here, so I got it out, got to doing, and everything's looking right good. Got a nice piston over here. The bore looks good. The only thing is we got to swap the piston and the stuff out. This piston would probably run, but I'm going to put the better looking of the two in there. Of course, what I should have done is measured the outside diameter, make sure I was putting the best one in. But this one's got a little scoring on the side of it, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to run the other one. Yeah, because the other one's bigger around than this one. This one's got a few thousandths wore on it. So what I'm doing is, I'd already snatched them old funny bolts out of there, and I'd put these brake proof ones in, or whatever you want to call them. There ain't no way that's going to happen. No, I didn't figure it would. I'm trying to catch all the needles, because y'all know if you've messed with any of these Macs, they got needles on them, and the needles have to come on and off. So I started to just change the piston on the rod, and I'm not going to swear we ain't going to pull that off and have a look at it, because I actually feel like this rod here might feel a little better. So I've got a lot of stuff to do. I don't know how we're going to manage this, because I want to show y'all the majority of it. And to do that, it's probably going to make for some extremely long videos. So, with that being said, we're probably going to be into some long videos on the Super Pro 125 build. I've got stuff stacked all over the place. I'm going to get the saw done before I release any videos in this series. So when you see this video, the saw will be done. So everything should go fairly well. But what I'm trying to do now is just get a few things. The bearings on here are good, but I'm not going to use the one that's on there because they're the OEM bearings that have there's no cage, and the bearing race is split. See that line? That's where the cage is, or the race is split right there, and the race is split right there. And that's how they get the bearings in these. They do not run a cage in them, and I do not care for those. So this crank looks really, really nice, and I'm hoping that it will come off here in a decent fashion. I'm going to try to show all this. Y'all see this. This is a little homemade bearing puller that I made a while back because I did not have one small enough, and I needed one small enough, so this is the way I use this thing. And I'm not concerned with saving these bearings because I've got brand new ones on the way, and if I was going to save these, I'd just use them. So that sucker does not want to go in there. I need to put a little bit better angle on this thing, but I don't have a better angle on it, so she's starting to come apart now, the bearing is. I really didn't want it to. I wanted it to come off and not come apart. But sometimes it happens. Y'all hold on just a second. Alright, I got that one off. I went and stuck it in the press and it pushed right off there. Now hopefully this one has some more room here. You can actually get under it. We're going to try again. See if it'll come off. If it don't, I'll walk over and put it in the press. But we're going to give it a shot. Sometimes it don't want to come apart. These split cages or split races they can be a real aggravating thing to deal with. The way this crank's made, it's just so hard to get something to cooperate. At least I think it is. See, the balls are already starting to fall out of it. All the balls is coming out. All the balls is coming out. I try to keep them where they'll stay together, but it just don't. It just don't. There we go. Got her off there. Excuse my brute force mentality. But now that I've got down to the inner race, I'm gonna go press it off right quick. So hold on just a second. Alright. Nothing a little light press work won't do. But we got her off of there nonetheless. For somehow or another, the spring got off of this thing here, and I don't know exactly how it done it, but it did. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but it did. Everything looks good. All the threads look good. Crank's in good shape. Appears to be in good shape. So we're just inspecting everything and going along right now is what we're doing. Trying to get everything cinched up. We got to do support work. And I don't remember whether y'all seen this before, but we're going to do it again. We're going to stick this down through the port. I know y'all seen me do this. Drive these freeze plugs out. There's one. There's two. And this one over here is the hard one to get out, I think. Because there's just barely enough clearance to knock that one out. I kind of boogered up the hole there just a little bit. There we go. You got to be careful. You go too far, you mess that up. Now, the main thing is we want to leave that off. We've got some porting to do. Looks like we might have some honing to do. I think there's a little bit of transfer up in this cylinder yet. Alright, let me go give this piston a cleaning. Alright. There's a little bit of transfer in this cylinder yet. I cleaned the piston up. We're going to throw a little honing in there. This cylinder's in pretty good shape, but there is a little bit of transfer in it yet. Just a minute amount. I may have to just work with till I get it out of there. Oh, I forgot to turn the air on. This we just got to get it where the piston will fit up in there. And I don't know exactly what it's catching on yet. Whatever it is, I'm trying to mark it up. Piston's got a bent spot on it. I think that's the problem right there. The edge of that piston is bent a little bit. Let's see if that does it. Sometimes you have to put things in there and spin them a little bit and mark them up so you can look at that. I have to mark it up a little bit so I know what'll go and what won't. And we're gonna try to get that rod in there as straight as possible. And we want to see how wide we can make the exhaust port without going too far. And since this piston's already scratched, we're not really concerned with it, other than using it as a my. Oh my. See how much room we got there and there? Now I know on the upper side, you look in here, there's a transfer port right there, so you can't get too far that way, and there's a transfer port that far on the other side. And what we're going to do basically is kind of mimic this a little bit, but we're probably going to go just a little bit wider on the exhaust than we was originally. I know. But hey, if you don't make it what you want, what's the point in making it at all? Just my take on it. The port on this older cylinder, it's a little bit different than the port on this newer cylinder. See, they're different years. See how the fins are? This cylinder was a real nice cylinder, but, well, nonetheless, we know what happened to it. I'm not really set up right now to do a whole lot, but we're going to go in there and tickle its fancy just a little bit to have a look at it. See if we get an idea of where we're going to go from here. Reaching in there is a pretty good little ways. We're going to do it anyhow. We're already at 20 minutes on this video, just about. Ain't even got started. There's a step in there right now, and I'm taking that step out. We're not going up or anything, we're just going a little wider. Just want to get some initial look at it. Oh yeah, that's already wider. Now the port's wider. So yep, we're going to reshape this port just a little bit. For those that don't know, it's got a flat top on it. The top of the port is very flat, and that is not what they do anymore. It's not the best way to make a port design, so we're actually going to raise the center of the port and then slope it to the sides just a bit to make it where it works the way I want it to. Nope, wrong grinder. There we go. I'll see if I can show y'all this. I'm gonna grind just a little bit more because there's a let's see. See how it goes from the side and goes up, so it's kind of going to be like an egg shape. I've left this side still like it was, and this side's deepened in the center, and it's going to be more like this instead of this. That way the rings will have a little bit friendlier transition than they would originally. And that's the way I like to do them. It makes the rings last longer in the piston too. Yeah. It's already looking better. This one just helps me remove the material fast. And I'll go in there with the other one and then I'll go in there with the other one and smooth it up. See, it's more arched up at the top. It's not drastic, but it does help. That's the way, I like it. So, we're going to continue on with that. I may not film all of that because it's going to be really long if I do. It takes a good little while to port one of these cylinders. They're, it's extremely hard to get these 3 ports because they're back in there pretty long. Usually what I do is I raise the front 3, get them where I want them, and then I use the piston and set the back 3 the way I want them. So that's how I'll probably go about doing it. So yeah, let's do it. There you go. We're opening her up. I'll try to film just a little bit of this. I've got them set where I want them, and now I'm just flowing, putting flow characteristic into it now. Because I want it to flow a certain way, and you can literally look at it and see where the spots are where it won't flow like it ought to. So I'm knocking those down so that the fuel charge can just flow as smooth as possible over into the ports. Trying to round the edges out to reduce turbulence. By the time it gets here, it's already been around the crankshaft and everything else. So we're not trying to create any extra turbulence here. We're trying to reduce it and create a smooth flow characteristic. Got a little bit of chatter going on this cutter. I think it's getting a little dullness to it. I think y'all can still see. That should help with the flow. I've already raised the transfers as big as I want them to be. On the inside, I'm just shaping up the holes a little bit now, trying to get all the ledges and anything where there's a divot, I'm trying to knock that down. Oh, that should be fine. And that's where we're at so far. And for checking, if you want to check to see how close you got them, alright, I'm going to try to show y'all this. I don't know whether it'll work out real well or not. I'm going to try it anyway. Alright, flashlight shining in there. And when you raise the piston, you see the light start to shine. You should see light in all of them at about the same time. They're real close. The one over here on this side might be a little bit lazy yet, but I've got to finish grinding them, so smooth them out and stuff like that. So it may not be dead nuts on yet. I'm not trying to get it dead nuts on yet. I'm just trying to get it where whenever I pull it up, I can see right there. Yep, the two on this side's got a little bit, and this one over here is just closed off. So I've got to take it just a little bit deeper. I mean, it ain't much. It's probably for 6/8 thousandths. So they're real close. I mean, it'd run fine where it's at. But now that I've got this side done, now I've got to try to do this side. And this side's a bit harder. That's the reason why I do this side first and then match the other side to it. Of course, it might be easier to match it the other way. I don't know. But anyway, that's the way it is. So we're gonna go with that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna try to make these videos in the right time frames, because y'all seen that 460 video was all messed up. So I'm gonna try to do something a little different. All right, I'll figure it out. You'll see how it works. All right, y'all have a good day. Stay safe out there. Be kind. God bless. Bellhopper out.